my whole plan was to kill him.
Why?
I thought I hated him.
Uh-huh.
I never hated you. I just needed you.
So, Ethan Spradlin,
Hmm.
known each other for a few years, the Unpolished Rebuild podcast. So we talk a little bit about, going through trials and tribulations. I've certainly had them. You've had them. So talk to me a little bit about, when you were young, where'd you grow up? What was your experience like?
Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot from my childhood. Usually with trauma, you don't remember. I've started digging into it a lot more over the years, where a lot of healing's taken place. Mom was single mother for the most part. Dad was involved. Not a lot. Most of my memories of him are nightmares and,
Mm,
a lot of flashback stuff. Not so much anymore, but Dad was drug addict for sure. And he fought hard. He could never win. So
hmm
Mom had to get us out in the middle of the night while he was all passed out on drugs. When I think I was 1 or 2, my sister was old enough to remember it all. I think the next, probably until I was about 6, those years were just spent kind of running away from him,
mm.
bouncing house to house, and
As a family?
just me, my mom, and my sister. Yeah. Yeah. And then she met a guy and he adopted us. So we would take his last name.
Right on.
And then my real dad had no rights to us.
Okay.
And I carried so much anger my whole life, just thinking I hated him, and did quite a bit of time incarcerated. Got involved in some shootings and some drug stuff, and um,
Him or you?
me,
You.
me. He had quite the criminal record, I believe, too. So I got out when I was about 20, and I met him for the first time as an adult, and my whole plan was to kill him.
Mm,
That was it. I'd
okay.
wanted to do it my entire life.
Okay. Why?
Um, I thought I hated him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then when I met him, emotions that I'd never felt came over me.
Mm,
And it wasn't hate.
mm.
It was just, and it hit me. I was like, I never hated you. I just needed you,
And wow.
you know?
Okay.
And, so we tried to kind of make a relationship, but nothing had changed. He was still using, and he still couldn't tell the truth to save his life.
Mm.
So things got a little nasty, and I just decided not to do what I'd wanted to do. And I wasn't angry at the world anymore. I had my chance and I didn't take it.
That was at 20.
That was at 20. Yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm 16 misdemeanors, something like that, 7 felonies, trying to find a job.
Wow.
And I
Well,
did.
Stop there for a second. How did you end up getting a job? Like,
I got back into the game for a little bit,
oh, okay.
and
Went back to what you knew.
yeah, and that got bad. Within a couple years, and
This is still in South Carolina. Okay.
still in South Carolina. Lost a couple good friends.
Lost like dead.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've lost a lot.
Now, were you running with a gang or was it?
No, I never got involved in a gang.
Okay.
I was,
It was just a hustle.
yeah. And it was,
Selling drugs.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Selling drugs, a lot of guns, sold a lot of guns. And I always had somehow pretty deep connections without being really tied to something.
Okay.
So I don't know how I rode that line. I
Mhm.
really don't.
So you're just like a solo entrepreneur.
Kinda with addiction issues.
Right.
So, and you almost, to be into a world that dark, you can't be sober minded,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. If you are, you're probably a sociopath.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's something else going on.
And that's to each his own.
Right.
Me thinking about being in that world now gives me anxiety.
Sure.
I don't know, but I'm really good at it when I'm using.
Mm.
Really good at it.
The further removed from that life, do you now kind of look back like, I can't even recognize that old me?
I know exactly who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so
Is that who
grateful.
you see in the mirror still?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. I mean, oof.
Rough.
Yeah. Like, I don't a lot of survivor's guilt.
Mhm.
A lot of my buddies didn't make it out.
Mhm.
A lot of I still call them friends that I kinda had to block
Yeah.
for fear of myself, not so
Sure.
much them, and there's that part of me that I was like, "I made it out, I wanna save them." But,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
that's how
know
you
better.
yeah, I know
Can't do
better,
that. Yeah.
because it when I finally decided to get sober, I'm at a year and 7 months or something right now. I made that decision to go to AA meetings
Mm.
every day, every night, and I went to my first few 5 or 10 AA meetings high as a kite. I
Mm.
couldn't go there sober. And, I didn't think
That's a real admission.
yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about that.
Oh, I don't
But you were there,
oh, high as a kite.
but you were reaching for something by
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there was so and I don't people have told me about AA my whole life. Not my whole life. Ever since people were like, you probably have some addiction
Yeah,
issues."
yeah.
And I was like, "I'm not gonna go sit in a basement full of old people, smoking cigarettes and drinking black coffee, telling war
Mhm.
stories."
Mhm.
And I learned about a year and 7 months ago that it is so far from that.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, they call it a fellowship for a
it
reason,
it
right?
really is. It's not a cult. It's not a I don't it works.
Yeah.
If it worked for me, holy crap, you
Right.
know.
Well, I met you, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, and my first impression of you, because I think
Drinking Jack in the kitchen.
you were, and I was like, "This is a volatile dude."
Yeah.
Like, to me, you seem like a grenade that the
Yeah.
pin had already been pulled out of.
Just waiting to blow
I
at
mean,
all
you
times.
were you struck me as quite volatile.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, no, that's why I had I have, I think 15, 16 assault charges,
Mm.
you know, not on women, just
Any sober?
probably
Yeah.
but back when I was angry at the world kinda thing,
Right, right,
before
right.
I'd resolved a lot of that issues,
Well, you're a very different dude now just sitting with you than I remember when I first met you.
yeah, I was so unhealed. Didn't even know I needed to be healed. Didn't even
Right.
know I had addiction issues because I wasn't using drugs. I didn't know I had an issue with alcohol until
Mm.
because like when I first started going to AA, I told my sponsor, I was like, I don't have an issue with alcohol, I have a problem with drugs. So even after I stopped going high, I'd go to the bar before I'd go to meetings
Mm.
and thinking like I don't have an issue with alcohol. But I couldn't get more than 60 days sober on meth and coke and all the other stuff.
Right.
And I just kept going back. And I remember Lena, my fiance, and I had gotten into a pretty big argument because we were long distance. And so I'm trying to remember. I think I was sober off drugs, but I got on I was going to get on a plane and I was like, maybe alcohol is the issue, like I don't know, but I'm not going to drink on this flight. I need to show up back to Colorado sober. And I don't know if it was 10, 20, 30 minutes into the flight. I looked down and I was like, what? I had a drink in my hand.
Oh, shit.
No idea. Don't remember ordering it, nothing. And I was like,
Wow.
maybe I have a problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it made me feel so vulnerable to look down and see that drink because I had, with conviction, made a decision that I wasn't going to drink on that flight.
Right.
And I had a drink in my hand with no clue of how it got there. So that was scary to me. That
You
was,
were in autopilot.
yeah, yeah. And I had no idea.
Wow.
So,
I've done it too. Like,
have you?
I've gone to meetings. I was never an alcoholic, but I was addicted to other stuff,
Yeah.
porn,
Hmm.
everything. And I remember leaving a phone meeting, like a sex addicts meeting,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And literally rubbing one out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There's
so I know that's an odd comparison,
no,
but
no, there's a guy in one of the groups in our life church group in Colorado that it's an all addictions group, and that's his thing. Is just he's like and I was like, "I get it, dude. Addiction's addiction."
Yeah.
I even saw Lena kinda going through a little bit of it when she was trying to not drink sugar or eat sugar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Now you understand addiction a little bit, don't you?"
Yeah. It's real. It could be anything.
It's anything,
Yep. Yep.
it's,
What did you have a rock bottom moment, or was it that flight when you look down and you're like, "Oh shit, this is a problem"? Like, what some people do, some people don't.
I learned many times that rock bottom has a basement.
Mm,
Yeah,
mhm.
and I couldn't find anything to stop me, and the issue was I still had my house, still had my job, still had the cars, the boats, the motorcycle,
Yep.
all of that, so I was like,
Spearfishing,
"My
doing all your
issue
ex
can't be that bad
Yep.
if I'm very high functioning." It got to where up here, I was ready to go.
Mm,
I'd stared at that pistol night after night after
yeah,
night, and I
yeah.
finally started praying to God again, but the only thing I was praying for was to give me the balls to pull that trigger. I
Oh,
I
shit.
couldn't do it, and I started getting Lane and I's relationship got bad.
This is the mother of your
Yeah,
child
yeah,
currently.
yeah,
Okay. Just to paint the picture, because
yeah,
you were
no,
with
for
a different
sure.
girl when I met you.
Yeah, we've been together almost 3 years now, I
Right
think,
on.
going on something like that.
How much of your relationship with her motivated you to get sober?
I wonder that. I try to.
Because you're not supposed to do it for anybody else, right?
Correct. Correct. And the thing is, not once did Lane ever say, "You have to stop drinking or else."
No ultimatums.
Never. Not a single one.
Okay.
The only thing I think she ever said close to that was, "I can't have my kids around you if you're still dealing."
Mm. Dealing.
Dealing,
Oh, okay. I
And I'm
didn't
like,
realize that was current or recent.
"No, that was 3 years ago."
Okay.
Yeah, because I got back into the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even as recent as 3 years ago. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I went back out and, things started riding with motorcycle club and
Yeah, yeah.
it got bad quick. And so we ended up splitting. At this point, she was pregnant.
Oh,
I was on a work trip. She's texting me, like just wanting to work it out,
yep.
admitting her side of things. And I just really wasn't speaking much on it because in my head, I don't know if you call it depression. Just I had been leveled by reality. Like, this is a different girl, and I'm in the same place I've been over and over and over.
What's the common denominator?
Me.
Right.
So I just I didn't know what to fight for. I knew that she was a good girl with a bright future and that I was going to screw it up if I
Mm.
got with her. And I was just trying to tell her that. Like,
And right now, just to paint the picture for those that might watch
yeah,
this, you guys bounce between Florida and Colorado,
yeah.
which is like a dream,
To
right?
to some, yeah.
And you've got a beautiful baby,
Beautiful baby.
you
House on
know.
the water, house in the mountains. We put so much work into each other. Into We healed so much of ourselves alone while we were together.
That's the only way to do it, right?
Yeah.
You got to fix you.
Yeah.
And
And
I
we
resisted that personally for
did you?
years,
I didn't know I had issues.
years. Well, I I didn't want to admit I had
Yeah.
issues. I knew I had them, but it was easier to stuff them
Yeah.
or put the fire out with alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't come from any really much trauma in her life at all.
Okay.
And her marriage was, she got married at 18, had 2 kids. The guy she was with, very successful as a salesman. She was very successful as a photographer and,
Right on.
a teacher.
Yeah, she's quite talented.
And well, I think that you have issues with things that you need to fix, so she didn't. One of the things that really changed our relationship drastically, number one, my meetings, me going to therapy twice a month with not a there therapist,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
here's where you're screwing up, here's what needs to change, here's your plan. Somewhat of a life coach.
Yep.
And my therapist was an addict for 12 years. And now he's
Relatable.
and that's what I searched after for when
Yep.
I was searching for a therapist. Um, so in between those 2 things on my side, one of the things I asked her to do when we, got back together after that whole my harsh realization thing was for her to go to Al-Anon meetings.
Okay.
Not to excuse me, but to understand me a little bit better.
Well,
So
I
she
get
could
it.
see things maybe from a different light.
I get it.
And then we had another big blow up fight. And I was like, you don't know how to respect me. You don't, I'm so tired of telling you what respect is. So instead of doing what I feel like a lot of partners in a relationship would do, is be like, I know how to respect you. She finally was like, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know how to respect a man. And so she went searching after books or whatever, and she found a book, and now we've both read it. It's called Love and Respect. That book changed our relationship
Wow.
completely. As she's reading this book, she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't know how to respect a man."
Wow.
Yeah,
Now, who brought the book up? You?
her.
Really?
She found the
She
book.
found it.
She started reading it, and it wasn't like a, "Hey, I found this book. I'm gonna start reading it. Please be nice to me now."
Right.
This was like she found it and was reading it and was like, "Holy crap, you were right."
Mm.
Because this was when we were on our sabbatical,
Yep. Yep.
and she was like, I've got a lot to learn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her willingness to be vulnerable and be like, hey, oh, yeah, there's some things that need to be changed. I was like, oh, she's not on that high horse. Let me see what I can change too now that I have the space to do so.
So a lot of partners, when you give them criticism, they kind of deflect and project.
Hmm.
I don't want to hear that. It's you. It's not me.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she was open to, I don't want to say criticism, but feedback
Yeah. And
enough that she went searching, excuse me, for something to read.
y- yeah. And I know that that was the same, one of the big issues in her prior marriage. Neither one of them knew how to respect each other. And I was fortunate enough, and this is why I do know God is involved in so many things, but she never looked for that answer in their old relationship. She didn't want to respect him, you know. And don't get me wrong, he's a great guy. It's just the wrong person, the right person is never right for the wrong person.
Yeah, right.
And it's and the same thing for me, like, nobody could tame me. No chick could,
No,
they all tried, and for her, like I said, she never once said, "Hey, you have to stop." No ultimatums, no nothing,
right.
but, like, as we sit here today, I'm 10 days no nicotine, and she never asked me to stop, and so I've been a little, like, chewing on power lines, but she just makes me wanna do better for her, she really does.
Well, that's great. Well, and you guys share a child together, obviously, so
Yeah,
you wanna create a really healthy environment for that kid to
correct,
grow up in, right? And
correct.
what's his name?
Ledger.
I love it.
Ledger Brock. Brock was the name of the guy that stepped into my life as a probably about 8 or 9, and he was my father figure. He taught
Okay.
me how to hunt, fish, fight, shoot,
Okay.
all the things.
Okay.
So, he was the reason that I tried so hard to go after that governor's pardon I got a few years ago. I got all my rights back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you can vote.
Vote, I can legally have guns,
Wow.
but there was a gun that he wanted to pass down to me after he passed, but I wasn't allowed to, and he made this clear, "I'm not allowed to have it until I can legally have it." And I was like, "It's such a trap, dude, like, it's
Yeah.
not possible." I got 7 felonies and, violent felonies at that,
Right.
and God does God things, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
It
Amen to that.
I never
Amen.
in a million years thought I'd have it, but I passed.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty in-depth situation,
Yeah, man.
they and it should be, you're handing
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
but, I got all my rights back, I can vote, I can you know, with one of the companies I worked for, we got they had to do a whole bunch of paperwork and insurance stuff on us, and we entered into a new platform for work, and I got the email where it said, what things had been checked off, and it said, drug test passed, criminal history passed, and something else passed, and I was like, I never in a million years thought I'd see that,
Right.
you
Green
know?
check marks.
Yeah, yeah, it no, it's, every bit of it didn't come from fighting, it came when I stopped fighting is when all the good stuff came.
Yeah.
Surrender.
Amen. Well, yeah. There's a book written by Michael, I'm gonna screw it up, so I'm not gonna say it. Mickey Singer,
Okay.
called The Surrender Experiment.
Yeah.
It's a good one
Is
if
it?
you ever want. Yeah, yeah. He's not far from here, actually. He's in the Alachua Forest. He's got Temple of the Universe, just like
Okay.
this non-denominational temple. And I have a mindset coach that I meet with weekly who lived in the temple on the property for like
Yeah.
32 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So he teaches me how to calm my being, and
Yeah.
Anyways, but when you said surrender, it reminded me of that. I also needed that. I was baptized personally a year and a half ago. I was raised Catholic. Always thought I had a relationship with God. Made my
Yeah.
kids go to Catholic church, dragged them along.
Yeah.
Got them most of their sacraments, and then I found the Bible and started reading straight from the book.
Mhm.
And that certainly, I've heard you reference God a few times. That certainly,
And that's God as I understand it. That's what
yeah,
they
it's
teach
higher
us in the
power.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever that is. It could be
A
a
tree, it could be a wave.
whatever.
That interview with Shia LaBeouf, did you see that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he was like, it's anything more powerful than you."
Yep.
And but that was I think that was my biggest thing, which led me on the path that I'm on is realizing I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
0 coping skills, not a one,
Yep.
other than anger and addiction and
Yeah, but you got a lot of good skills over the years that you can still apply now that you're in a
yeah,
sober state.
now I can hone in on them.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Is there such thing as being a professional spearfisher? Because I think you could qualify.
There's the guys that go out of like, Rusty Bellies guys.
Oh
They go
yeah,
out there,
yeah,
they spearfish their fish.
yeah. They got a whole commercial fleet.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I know you're pretty accomplished at that.
I need to get back into it. Honestly, that was one of the reasons I quit vaping
Mm,
because
breath.
every time I go down, I get like this immediate migraine underwater
Mm,
and then nausea when I came back up. And I was like, I'm not letting a substance take away my spearfishing.
there you go.
I
Right
mean,
on.
yeah, it was, yeah, that's where my peace is at.
I love it, man. Well, I'm really proud of you for the record. You come a long way. Especially since, like I said before, I'm beating it to death. But the first time I met you, I was like, this guy's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
But like you said, managed to have success.
yeah,
As the world looks at it, he owns a house, he's got a car, he's got a boat, he's got a motorcycle.
yeah.
You had all the material things, but you weren't right with yourself.
It looked good on Facebook.
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't. Well, I used to have. It's funny. I was married for 27 years, and my ex was a much better spouse than I ever was, for
Yeah.
sure. And she's an amazing person, a fabulous grandmother now too. She's great, and everybody would say to us, "Man, your relationship seems so perfect." It's like,
Mhm.
well, we would always say her too. We would always say we only post the good stuff on
Yeah.
Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
or social, whatever that means. But nobody
Which
knows what's really going on.
well, and it still says something because a lot of the relationships now, everybody posts their dirt
Oh, right,
or they talk to that's one of the things that my counselor and that in the books we've read, it talks about keep your relationship out of the mouths of other, speaking to other people.
right,
You don't need to go talk to your mom about it, your friends about it, because what you and your spouse may repair, the people you talk to about it, they didn't get repaired. So that's all they remember is
yep,
that, people know your business and it's just not good.
yep. And everybody's got an opinion.
My mom, I mean, this may be crude to say, but my mom always told me as a kid, she was like, everybody's got an opinion. Opinions are like buttholes and they all stink.
Yep,
So
and everybody's got one.
everybody's got
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up Rock Bottom has a basement. My sponsor once told me because I would ask him, Mr. Shortcut, right?
Yeah.
I would always ask him, "How do I know when I'm a rock bottom? How do I know?"
You
And he was
know?
like, one day he finally answered me because he was always reluctant to answer that
Yeah.
because everybody's rock bottom is different, right?
Mhm.
And he would say, "When you put the fucking shovel down."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
No, that's
like,
a good
"Oh,
one.
damn."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all right, well, and then of course my next question, how do I put the shovel down? I was just such a
You
dumbass.
will.
But I had a brother and a sister both overdosed on fentanyl.
That's how my dad went.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We all got them stories. Yeah. And I think in AA, I know in my fellowships, and I'm in multiple, I know in my fellowships they say step over the bodies. And that's hard to digest for me anyways. I'm like, damn, that's kind of rude, but I get it
Yeah.
because you can't I understand it now, especially when my brother died, because we were close. And I mean, not physically close. He lived in Pennsylvania, but
It's your
we
blood
talked a
bond,
lot.
if
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and we grew up together, to a certain extent, on and off. But that one really got me. My sister, I didn't really know that well. It was on the other side of the family. But when he went, and he'd been in rehab dozens and dozens and dozens of times to no avail. He just kept using. So I had to step over my brother's body,
Yeah.
figuratively,
Yeah.
metaphorically, and that was difficult. That was difficult. But I could have easily grabbed a bottle or grabbed something,
Yeah.
and coped with it that way.
I worry about that, with me being sober, I don't think I've handled a death sober.
Mm, interesting.
So it's a scary place for me.
Interesting.
I learned because when I guess it was around the time when you say you didn't know I got back into dealing and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a hell of a year. I lost 9 or 10 people, and not like Facebook friends. Like this was my dad. Some really good friends. I lost Mike. I lost both grandfathers. This was all within a year, just back to back to back to back. And so I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm going to start using, I'm not going to be a junkie. So I'm going to start dealing.
Mm,
And that's what all that was about. Like I gotta be in control of this.
right.
And
And you knew how to do it because you had a background in it.
oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't take me long to get there, and that's also what's scary about it. But I worry about the next big death in the family.
Right.
Um, and I think it's fair to. I don't think it's unhealthy to be worried about it. I feel like some people would be like, "Oh, well, if you were actually healed or working the program, you wouldn't be scared." And I think that's bullshit. You know,
Well, it's a healthy fear.
yeah, being aware of yourself.
Right.
So I do know towards the last couple deaths, I didn't drink them away. I was using, but I wasn't just trying to forget of it and not think about it.
Right.
I actually processed it and really ate into it. And the last one was my grandfather's death. And processing that one and just letting it hurt was so much shorter of a process than the 15 years I ran from all the other deaths
Mhm.
throughout my life.
Mhm.
Like, there was no running from it. Like, it hurts for a little while. I mean, it hurts forever, but it hurts for a little while, and y you just surrender to it and, honor them by letting them go, really.
Mhm.
And unlike all the other ones, it was like, drink, drink, use, snort, snort.
Right.
This isn't gonna hurt. I gotta not feel this, and god, that goes on for years. So, I I have the tools now
Right.
for whatever comes.
Right.
It's not ever gonna be easy.
Well, I'm a phone call away, you know that.
No, for
Plus, you
sure.
got your sponsor, you got your
Yeah,
fellowships,
yeah,
you got your lady, you got your
yeah.
son.
I've got a huge network now from people that actually saw me put the work in.
Yeah.
This isn't a 72 day sober type thing. This
Right, right,
is
right, right,
like so, it takes people time to want to have your back anymore
right,
or to actually have your back. They want to, they're just waiting to feel like it's okay for them to
right.
because they've done it so many times before.
How do you deal with urges now if you still get them or early on when you got them? How did you deal with that? What were your tools at that moment?
Meeting.
Meeting. Yeah.
Meeting. I mean, a lot of meetings, and I know this sounds cliche and it's too simple to be true, but when I'd be driving in the car, whenever the surge would hit, it was, I learned immediately, God, please take this from me. And it's crazy how fast it goes away.
Give it to God.
Yep. Just surrender it because
Yep.
it's not yours to hold anymore.
Right.
So I've told people that and they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. But I'm like, okay, I felt the same way when people first told me that. And I'm like, whatever. Anyways, what can I really do?
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, now my, my triggers, my urges don't so much as come in, I need to go use right now.
Right.
They come in, this is where it pays to be aware and in tune with yourself or realize what your things are so that if you're not in tune with yourself, you can recognize them. So, like, if I feel myself getting overly agitated, um, if something minor sets me off and like I'll throw something,
Mm.
immediately I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to a meeting
Wow.
because that's when it goes to I'm angry. And then at some point, if I don't fix that, I will justify using.
Yep. Of
I will
course.
I will need that quick fix.
Yep.
So
Been there.
yeah, my triggers don't come in that I need to use right now. I try to catch them way before that now.
It's the I refer to it as the stress creep.
Yep.
You get a little stressed, it creeps in. Next thing you
Mhm.
know, you're doing whatever your drug of
Yep.
choice is. Yeah.
Man, I don't ever I very rarely have an issue with I have a craving for drugs.
Mm.
It's the alcohol, and it's the alcohol that makes me lose my inhibitions enough to go after the drugs.
Of course.
Yeah. Yep.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So,
So you're clean off
everything.
everything,
I haven't had a drop, a drug, nothing in
dude.
1 year, 7 months, and however many days. And I don't even count it down anymore. Once you hit a year and a half, you don't matter anymore to the meetings.
Oh,
As far
okay.
as the chips, that chip ends at year
Oh,
and a
yeah,
half.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So you don't have any more anniversaries to celebrate. At that
Okay.
point, you need to be focused on how can you help others.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that.
Service work, service work, service work.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be you go to a soup kitchen. Lane and I were on the way back from Palm Coast. I had to go do a job up there, and she went with me. And she had to get on a meeting for her work.
Okay.
So we pulled over into this little park. There was a splash pad there, and I was with the baby.
Nice.
And I saw this kid. I say kid, he's probably mid-20s, walk by. And he was just doing that walk, or I was like, he's going to get a fix,
You
or
knew.
he's something. And so me and the baby are just playing around. The baby makes it over towards the swings, and I see the kid over there on the end swinging. I could tell he's struggling. So I just walk right up to him, and I'm like, you coming to get some, or are you fighting not using right now? And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm in a bad spot. I was like, well, I can see that. I was like, when's the last time you used? He was like, it's been a little more than 24 hours.
Also, he was really coming down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not even coming down. He was like, my girl's this, and his mind's playing with him. And I was like, what is it, meth or coke? And he was like, it's meth. And so I just sat there and had a conversation with him, and I was like, dude, I was you a year and a half ago.
Mm,
And, we're sitting there with this brand new expedition now, and I got this cute little baby and the gold chain. And I was like, trust me, I was you a year and a half
right.
ago. Like, I know you've probably heard this before. Go to a meeting. Go high. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Go
right.
to a meeting.
Just go.
And, because there was something in that meeting that I was looking for, and I can't pinpoint it. Hope, I guess. I remember what it was that was said in the meetings that made me keep coming back. And I don't remember what part of the book it is, but it says something about you no longer have to fight
Mm,
you no longer have to fight the addiction. You no longer have the cravings and all that.
yeah.
It gets washed away pretty much.
I know in the big book they refer to it as an allergy.
Yeah. 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 Allergy of oneself,
Mm,
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's some guys that are great at quoting that book. I'm not one of them.
No, it's been a minute since I've ripped off some quotes out of there, but there's been plenty of times I've been reading it because one of my fellowships, which isn't AA,
Yeah.
uses the AA
The
book.
12 steps.
It
Yeah.
literally, but I mean, we read right out
Same
of the
for
AA
Al-Anon.
book.
They do too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's called the primary principle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you're talking about, step 12,
Yeah.
going out and helping people.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like with this guy, I feel like Lena had told me that I had been a little edgy, and I think it was because of the nicotine thing.
Right.
Like me trying to fight that off, but just being allowed to have gone through the things that I've gone through to see this kid and knew exactly what he was dealing with, exactly how to speak to him,
Without judgment.
without judgment. Like there was no like, I know what's going on, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, bro, I know where you're at.
Right.
I know how
I
you're
sat
feeling
on
right
that
now.
swing.
Yep, many times.
Yep.
And I'm asking you to go into a room with a lot of other people that sat on that same swing.
Yeah.
These people in AA, they are people, you hear people a lot that talk about, it's hard to find somebody that's genuine, hard to find somebody that's real. Go to an AA meeting. Every person in that meeting has had to be as real with themselves as you can possibly be.
Mm,
I mean,
probably over and over.
over and over and over. They burn bridges. Those are some of the most honest and real with themselves people you'll ever meet.
Right.
They had to be to get sober.
Right.
That's why I told you, you tried to offer me the courtesy we can edit stuff out, and I have no interest in it. Like, I'm upfront with everything with my family. And right now, if I went back out, if I broke my sobriety, if I relapsed,
Mm.
I'd tell every one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's your commitment, though, right?
I don't think I have to tell them. It was just like I wouldn't want to hide it from them.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's hard for me to be anything other, and I hate to call it real, but just
Authentic.
yeah, because it's not good for me. It's not
Right.
healthy for me.
Right.
Because if I'm hiding something, then I'm like, fuck it, I'm hiding this. I can hide other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Listen. In an effort to save my marriage, I was asked to take a polygraph,
Oh yeah.
and I fucking failed the first one because I was googling it. I was like, I can game this shit.
Yeah.
Nope. Passed the second one. which resulted in my divorce because the outcome was not what it should have been. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was not a good guy.
Yeah.
I was not a good guy when I was using, and
Takes
um,
a lot to get to that point, though, to say that,
oh yeah,
I mean, because the first however many relationships I went through, this, and, da 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 da. And by the time the relationship was over, it did look like they were the crazy one.
right,
So
yeah,
it took a lot for me to just be like, "Mm, they might have some issues, but like you said earlier, the common denominator's me."
100%.
So
I relate to that. So, have you considered, or would you consider becoming a sponsor for somebody?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. There's been a couple guys that, I kind of started and they just,
Right.
and maybe this is an excuse. It's become hard because I still do go to meetings in both states. It's hard to be fully committed to one place when we're not there,
I get it.
because
Yeah.
even when we're in Colorado for 6 months, we're still bouncing back and forth from
You want to
here.
hear a funny thing?
Yeah.
My sponsor is in Spartanburg, South
No
Carolina.
way. Huh.
Yep.
How old is he?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked him. If I had to guess based on like the ages of his kids and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, probably early 40s.
Hmm.
But man, he's been through
I might know him.
it. We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to put him on blast. I didn't get his
Yeah.
permission, um, but I mean, we text daily.
That's
Sometimes it's just a little meme or
mhm.
something inspirational, and sometimes we talk on the phone. I mean, it's
I'll show you mine, Rhea. Every day for 1 year and 7 months. She's never missed a morning except for the last 2 mornings. It is no response. She was in a hospital. I didn't know it.
oh
Yeah. So she's out now. Um, so, but yeah, I thought about it last time I saw her. No offense, Rhea, but she's looking old.
no,
And I was like, man, like, I just, I don't think much into those messages anymore. But the day that they stopped, I was like, "Oh crap!"
what
Like
happened?
immediately, like, what's going on? Is she
Right,
okay? And
right.
so I started making phone calls, and I'm like, that sucks. She's not. She's got like 30 years of sobriety.
Wow.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah,
She's.
my guy's got well, different milestone dates for
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
things. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that his longest is like 13 years off of meth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he would say he is a sex addict, an alcoholic, a drug user.
Yeah.
Obviously he's not anymore,
Yeah.
but um, he worked very hard and he rubs off on me, man. So I'm eternally grateful for that. And I had one kid out in Utah of all places that I was kind of like doing a little phone sponsorship with.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, he just kind of drifted. And what are you going to do? I'm not going to fly to Utah.
You can't. No, and they teach us that, like, you can't go after them.
Right.
It's
And
yeah.
he'll circle back. 9 months might
Mhm.
go by, and he'll circle back and be like, "Hey, can we get on a call?" And I always say yes.
Yeah.
I'm not judging anybody. I'm the furthest person away from judging anybody.
One of the guys that worked for our company that got let go this year was from Utah. Got a DUI.
Oh, that's
So
a
he
rough
could,
state to get a
he,
DUI in too.
yeah. So he can no longer work for us. And we tried. He
Right.
just no license, no work.
Yeah. No, I get
So
it, man. I get it.
he was a great employee.
Well, listen, if you ran into yourself, the 6-year-old version of you, or better yet, when did you really start getting into the shit from a criminal standpoint? How old were you?
11.
That young?
Yeah.
Wow. If you could talk to your 11-year-old self today, what would you tell him?
Yeah, that part always makes me emotional.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it.
No, it's fine. I just thinking of him,
Yeah, right.
it's just hold on,
Mm,
just hold on. Because I always wonder how that goes. Like, if you could talk to your younger self, like, does that mean something changes? Or if you could just be a person in their life that could talk to them while they're going through the shit,
right. Yeah, I think
So
about that too. It's like,
which
because
way
people
does
have
it
asked
go?
me after all these years, do you wish you had never met your wife? I'm like, of course
No.
not. Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
Like, I wish I didn't put her through the shit I put her
Correct.
through.
Yeah.
I wish I was a better version of me. Now I can only be a better version moving forward. But I wouldn't have my kids. I wouldn't have my grandbaby. Of course, I don't regret that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know. And I ask that question to people, and I actually don't even know how I would answer it. I would probably tell them, you know, you're loved.
Yeah.
and it starts with loving yourself, and you're going to be scared, and that's okay. You don't have to lash out. You don't have to do all that crazy shit. I probably wouldn't have listened.
No, no, but Mike, the guy that was the closest thing I ever had to a father, he, one of the reasons I think I got so close to him was he never treated me. Number one, I didn't know it until years later, but he knew a lot about what I was going through without ever asking me.
Mm,
He had been through some of that in his childhood.
so he had spidey senses.
He did, and the way I met him, he was, you know, lived in my grandmother's neighborhood. There was a house kind of catty corner behind her. There was an old man there and his wife, and the old man was a truck driver, and his wife was always home, and I'd go and hang out with her. And so on Thanksgiving, as had always, I went over there to just say hey, and if their garage door was open, she was home.
Mm,
And the golf cart was there. Nobody ever went to the front door. I knocked and I knocked and I knocked, and nobody came. And I was like, okay. I go back to my grandmother's house, and then I see ambulances and all that come in, and we
no,
see a ringer body out.
damn.
So her daughter and her daughter's husband, who is Mike, came to move in there. And that's how I met Mike. I walk down the driveway, and this big husky runs up to me, and I pull out a switchblade ready to stab this thing. And Mike just walks up to me, and he's like, the fuck you gonna do with that? He was like, give me that knife. And he pulls a rag out of his back pocket, and he puts the rag over the knife and hits the button. And I'm sitting there thinking it's going to shoot through his hand, and it just bounces. And he was like, that dog would have killed you way before that knife would have hurt him.
Mm,
He said, don't ever pull a knife on my goddamn dog again.
that was
And
your intro.
that was my intro. He
Damn.
said, I'm down here working on this truck. You want to give me a hand?
Wow.
That was it.
Love that. Well, listen, man, I don't want to keep you. What else anything you want to get off your chest, or you think that you can impart to the people that might see this, that something that they can get out of it?
Yeah, there's a lot with addiction.
Yeah.
I want to help in any way possible.
Right on.
I want phone calls. I'm a part of the AA thing where I'm signed up for when people call AA struggling on Sunday from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. or whatever. I'm on that phone calls.
Oh, okay.
So that's, after midnight, people are struggling.
Wow.
I get those calls. So Sunday nights are not usually very restful for me.
Right.
Um,
But you're doing your part. You're giving back.
yeah. And I want to do more. So
Right on.
yeah, I think it's more about just want people to tell me what they need, however I can fill their needs. I mean, obviously I've got lives, but that phone's always on.
Man, what a shift.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's great,
I'm
Eddie.
proud of you, man.
Love you, dude.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.